What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? And more specifically, comments that Carmelo made about them. Now, last season, the Thunder, they won the championship, and I like what I saw out of them. It's they just had a lot of balance. They had length, so they played tough defense. And the thing that really I thought made them really dangerous is the fact that their star Shea really utilizes that mid-range jumper. Right, that mid-range jumper, they brought back the old school way of playing basketball. Work the ball around the court until you get a good shot. And a lot of times for Shea, it was the mid-range, or either you'll take somebody off the dribble, and pull up for like a 15-footer or something like that. So when you play that style of basketball, it's hard for a team to go on a drought. And when you don't have droughts, that means it's harder for the opponents to come back. Like if you build a lead and you're scoring almost every time or every other time down the court because you're shooting a higher percentage. Because for a lot of players, like a player like Shea, that mid-range jumper is almost like a layup, right? So because the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan used to do it all the time. Kobe Bryant did it all the time. Who else? Detroit Pistons back in the day, like before people started shooting these 3-pointers, that's what made the game so exciting, because it's hard to stop somebody when they got that patented 15-foot jumper or a fadeaway or something like that, right? Within 15 feet, those are like layups. So that's what this team had. They got somebody who got that mid-range game that's just it just keeps pressure on a defense all times, and then they can build leads. And once they build a lead, it's hard for the opponent to get back into the game. Right now, if they start shooting threes, then they can go on a drought. They're missing some threes, then they can, the other team can go on a run. But I like them. Carmelo Anthony seems to think that this team can be a dynasty. And so I'm thinking about that. Wow, a dynasty. I think that's going to I want to see how they play with that bullseye on their back. Last year everybody knew they were good, going into the playoffs and stuff like that. But now I want to see how they play with that bullseye on their back. Like, although it's just time for them as a team, although they won a championship last year, it's time for them as a team to take their game to an even higher level. And that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. So I want to play what Carmelo Anthony said about this team, and then I want to react to what Carmelo Anthony said.
We're at the very beginning of what can be something very special with OKC. Mm-hmm. They might be the new dynasty.
Yeah.
Boston had opportunity. Mm-hmm. Tatum, that kind of deterred that, but OKC we may be watching a new dynasty. Mm-hmm. They young, they fun, they play basketball, they play the right way. They love being around each other. Mm-hmm. Great coach, great organization, great front office, great community. They don't realize how good they are. Mm-hmm. They've been playing off of just, we young, we just having fun, and we're in the finals. Oh shit, which almost came back to bite them in the ass against Indy, because we so young and we just hooping. And this year, they're gonna sit down and they're gonna break down everything that went wrong for them, even though we won it. That just gonna give me a whole nother edge to want to repeat this shit. Mm. And I just think they are primed to be the new dynasty.
We ain't had to repeat them forever, but it could be them.
So Monica says the Rockets are going to be the best team.
All right. Now, one thing I did like about them is their chemistry, right? Their big three. When you see one, you see all three of them. They do commercials together, you know. So their big three, and not even the big three. Like when you even after interviews and stuff like that, you see everybody come to the interview. They throwing water on you, while on each other while they getting interviewed and stuff like that. So the chemistry with these guys is crazy, right? And so that's good. That means that they'll be able to hold each other accountable. Nobody wants to let the other one, they don't want to let the team down or let their teammates down. So the chemistry, I think, is good. I don't know too much about the ownership, but when you are winning when you're winning, that makes ownership look good, because ownership can take credit, for putting this group of guys together. So, like I said, I can't say anything bad about ownership. I like the coach, the coaching and stuff like that. But it's going to come down to these kids, even though they won the championship last year, it's going to come down to these guys wanting to raise their level of play. I think teams are going to come out and try to smack them in the mouth this year. And so will you be able to, will they be able to step up to the challenge? I do agree with Carmelo Anthony. I think that a lot of times, like last season, some of their inexperience showed, but it didn't hurt them to the point where they lost, so this year they got to look at like some of the mistakes that they made last year and want to erase those mistakes, and so it was some other stuff that Carmelo said on here, and I'm going to start it back over because I want to break down some more of what Carmelo said on here.
The very beginning of what can be something very special with OKC. They might be the new dynasty.
Yeah.
Boston had opportunity. Tatum, that kind of deterred.
And see, when Tatum got hurt, just to make a quick point about Boston, I thought because of what had happened to Boston, like during that off season when they went to the Olympics, Tatum and Brown, I thought they was going to come back with chips on their shoulder. Brown didn't get invited to the Olympics, which everybody, and Brown, everybody was outraged about that. Tatum goes to the Olympics and don't get any playing time. So those two guys really had chips on their shoulders, and I thought Boston was going to repeat, right? Because, and on top of that, they're a very good defensive team. So that's what I thought was going to come from Boston, but unfortunately Tatum got hurt. So now, if this OKC team, these young guys, if they can stay healthy, it's just basically about these guys just improving on what they did last year.
But OKC we may be watching a new dynasty. They young, they fun, they play basketball, they play the right way. They love.
All right, so when he said they play the right way, I like the way they play. They got that mid-range. They play and their low post, like the big guy. What's the big guy name? He can play inside and out. So if you put somebody on him that is a mismatch, somebody who can't play him in a post, he's gonna take him down in a post. And he can move out top and hit the jumper. What's the big guy name? I'm blanking on the big guy name, but he right here on the screen with his partner. But they had some pretty good outside, 3-point shooters. I like them on the defensive end. It's just basically about these guys just realizing, like Carmelo Anthony said, just realizing how good you are and not being satisfied with just the one championship, and understanding that there is going to be a target on your back.
Of being around each other. Great coach, great organization, great front office, great community. They don't realize how good they are. They've been playing off of just, we young, we just having fun. They win the finals, whole shit, like, which almost came back to bite them in the ass against Indy, because we so young and we just hooping and this.
Man, I'm telling you, if they can play any better than they played last year, which I think there's room for improvement, because even when I was watching them last season, I was like, I saw sometimes that when they could, like Carmelo Anthony said, like it's some lapses in their performance and stuff like that. But a lot of times, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander bailed him out, with his scoring and stuff like that, because he's a prolific scorer, and he was able to bail him out. This year, I think he's going to draw a lot of attention, and but they still got so many different weapons. It really won't matter if he draw a lot of attention. He's gonna be able to hit the open man. So it's almost like pick your poison with them. And then sometimes, even when you do try to take the ball out of his hand and pressure him, he moves without the ball. Shea moves without the ball. So with him moving without the ball, then he get in good position to score. This is a really good team. So I would like to see them be a dynasty, right? Because of the way they play. But then you got Houston is really good. They got some young, so it's some talent out there, and the way everybody is playing now, I think they're getting back to that old school style of playing where that mid-range jumper is coming back. That mid-range game is coming back strong. So with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.